Hi,
Hey,
everyone.
hey, Cool Crafters. I'm Tiffany Windsor. Great to see you here tonight.
And I'm Ann Butler. Always a pleasure to be here.
And I know a lot of you are still signing in and getting into the chat, and we love to see you. I know that there's wonderful regulars who join us, and we're always so grateful that you are here.
We are. And Karen, I saw your post as we were getting ready, and I'm sending my prayers. I hope everything goes well. So I'll be thinking about you.
You know what? There have been a lot of prayers going on in our circle lately.
Yes.
So we are busy supporting everyone. So we're happy to see that you are here. As a reminder, chat. We try and pay attention to it. I'm not so good. I always pause and I'm looking around, and so Anne is my support, and I always use my bridge word, which is so, and I want to stop doing that. So if I don't see what's going on in the chat, please just keep asking us, and we will find whatever you are asking, because we want to be here and support you for whatever your crafting needs are tonight.
Yes.
I want to start out by saying that Whatnot is usually what we talk about right now, and we are not holding a Whatnot show tonight. So what the reason we're not is that we're going live at noon tomorrow, because Whatnot decided to do a whole feature on artisans. And so it's called Artisan Showcase. So we would get better coverage if we went on tomorrow's Whatnot. So noon, you can still see the same links that we have on our Whatnot site, our Whatnot show site. And so we hope you can join us at noon tomorrow.
Noon Central Time.
Noon Central.
Wherever you guys are.
And Anne has a lot of things. I have handmaids. I don't have the amazing selection of craft supplies that Anne has. And so we're combining together for our Artisan Showcase. And we have a lot of items to go through at noon tomorrow. So hopefully you can join us.
Yes, that would be wonderful. And another reason we're not doing it tonight, I have 3 of my 17 grandchildren here tonight. Mm-hmm. Well, it'll soon be 4, because another one's coming to visit one of them, and they're going to be playing games. So I'm just taking a little bit more time for them.
And it was so cute, because Anne and I come into the room before we go live, and she wasn't at her chair, but I could hear her grandkids. And it was so sweet, because normally I don't hear them, and I know they visit her all the time. And it was just a very sweet moment that you didn't even know about.
I did. I didn't either.
Yeah. Hey, Tink, welcome tonight. Yeah. Laura Lee, Karen, Lisa, Brenda. It's so great to see you here. The next thing that I want to talk about is our giveaway. And this is amazing, because we haven't done this before. I reached out to Anne and I said, hey, do we have anything digital? And I thought, well, maybe she would offer some of her amazing patterns. And she said, what about an ebook? I'll give away an ebook. So I posted it in the Cool2Craft Facebook group. Now, if you're not a member of that group, you need to sign up so that you every week can enter into our giveaways, and we'll be sure and put the link up. And I always ask a question. And so this week's question wasn't even a question. It was finish this sentence. So it was crafting makes me feel some way. So here's some of the responses that we got, which is really cool. Crafting makes me feel warm and cozy, or in the summer, hot. Crafting makes me feel calm and at peace. Crafting makes me feel awesome. Crafting makes me feel stress-free. Crafting makes me feel inspiring. And another one who used the word calm, crafting makes me feel calm and free. And it's so wonderful to see those responses, because we feel the same way, and we've been crafting, for me, it's been 50 plus years, because my mom started me when I was very young, and actually, let's say 60 plus years. And so we always want to connect with everyone through their love of crafting. So that was really cool. And do you want to talk about Bella Crafts Publishing and kind of talk about your ebooks? I didn't bring any photos with me tonight, but
okay,
so that everyone knows how great this giveaway is.
And I see Karen said, I see an ebook being made of these things.
I agree. I
Um,
agree.
so Bella Crafts Publishing, we are going into our 14th year. And we do, for those of you that don't know, we do 4 free magazines a year, cool, Bella Crafts, and it is free to download. We also do ebooks. So we have a selection of ebooks. We do ebooks with manufacturers who aren't on our site. We do those privately, but we also do ebooks with designers and designer friends. So we have a nice assortment of ebooks ranging from Christmas crafts, Zentangles, paper crafts, mixed media, jewelry. Jules has a beautiful book with us. And so the winner will be able to just email me. And I see I forgot to change my shirt. I was upstairs. I was going to put my pajama party shirt on. And yeah.
That's okay. We'll give you a pass on that one.
So you will be able to pick out, I'll put a link in here and you'll be able to go and check out all the ebooks and you can pick one.
Right. And the card sketches with a twist, I think, is one of them also.
That is the newest one.
Right.
And that is fabulous. Meg was on a couple weeks ago and she did 12 sketches and each sketch has 4 designs. So it's 48 different cards in this book. And it's fabulous. And then I would say, which is odd considering we do a lot of paper crafts, but the #1 bestseller, even over Eileen Hall's books, is The Rope Basket book by Pam.
Those are timeless. Those are timeless, aren't they?
And yeah, when Pam and I got together, I think she was 74. So now she might be going on 78 or 79. Yeah. But her book is by far, which is amazing. I was surprised when I did it, but it is a beautiful book.
All right. So that's one of the choices that whoever wins tonight will have. And a reminder, you may have already said this, when you go to Bella Crafts Publishing and you are purchasing an ebook, you can get it digitally or print on demand. So if you're one of those like I am, need to have something to hold on to and look at those great pictures, then that's one of the choices also.
Yes, I will grab some of my print books when Deb is doing her segment, because then I can just reach behind me and grab those. But for right now, I will put in the link for our ebook library for you. So you can check out all the fabulous and the wonderful designers we have. We work with so many awesome designers that many of you follow.
And it's so awesome that you give these designers the opportunity to do this, because it's very difficult to get a book deal in traditional ways
anymore.
It's harder.
It's really hard.
I know. I was doing a research project. If you're part of our Cool2Craft Facebook group, I said, hey, I need some help here. I'm doing research. What magazines do you subscribe to that are crafts? And there are very few that are available anymore, and which is sad, because in the heyday there were dozens. And
oh my gosh.
Right. And so the fact that you've been able to carry this legacy on of keeping this craft content going digitally is amazing. Bless you.
Yeah. Thank you. Karen says, and the ebooks are very informative and fun to look at and create. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, and some of those ebooks are so big, they're actually too expensive if you tried to print on demand, because they're filled with so many pages, which you can do when they're digital. So
yes, like I have one with Eileen, it's 150 pages. So that is not available as print on demand, although some people have requested it. So maybe I would, but I mean, just the print cost. And then if you add even like $10, I mean, it puts it over $50. Right. So, and our 103 Christmas crafts with, Joe Pearson is 150 pages. And it is stunningly beautiful.
Right.
You know, and Jo, she worked for Michaels all those years.
Mhm.
So
That's
yeah.
how we met her. So after all this discussion, I guess I need to announce the winner. So drum roll, please, from everyone. And tonight's winner of this giveaway is April Yamamura.
Congratulations, April.
Congratulations. I do not see her in the chat. She may be watching and not participating in the chat, but I'll make sure that I reach out to April through our group. The other thing where we're talking about all this, so we want you to join our Facebook group. I also have a blog. So it's cool2craft.blog. And I post things in there, again, that I don't share in other places. So please subscribe. We want to keep in touch with you. You know, it's interesting because these social media channels make so many changes. Like one day they'll let you do lives, one day they don't. Anne's been through that. And so we want to be sure that we can connect with you through email. So please go to cool2craft.blog and sign up.
I'm putting the link in there. I already put the link in for the group.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And we mentioned we have a special guest tonight. That's Deb Floros. She is coming up. But I think we have time tonight. Our friend Jules is not here tonight. I think we have time if anyone who is in our audience wants to actually go in the spotlight and come on with us, and you have a minute to share what you're creating. So we want to put that invite out to you, and we'll post that for you to come into our green room, to come in behind the scenes. But Anne has a quick show and tell. I have a quick show and tell. Deb has a great demo, and
Yeah.
we're not sure how much time we have, but we do want to open that up for you. And if you don't make it tonight, we'll be here next Wednesday night, and you can share then.
Yes.
Do you want to do your show and tell first?
Sure.
Okay.
I will do that. So for those of you that weren't on Lisa's Live this afternoon, because I announced it there too, I am part of the Card Makers Summit, which starts tomorrow. It is a 4-day free event. And the link for that, this is my affiliate link. It's free, but still, it counts how many people I send over. But it is a free event, and there's like 30 of us. So the card that I am showing how to make, I created this digital. And so it is foiled, but it has the background, the trees on the background, and then Merry Christmas. So there it is on green, and you can make a cute little card because you get this digital free if you sign up. And then there is a VIP pass where you get lots of other things. I know I'm giving away an ebook that isn't available in our library that I created. And but this is the project I'm doing. But there's Meg is one of the designers that is in that summit. And the link, I just put the link in there so you can sign up. There's still time to get in tonight, because it starts tomorrow. And Laura Lee is in the back room waiting. I'm going to bring Laura Lee in because Laura Lee signed up for the summit, and she did buy the VIP pass. And I know that she has been working on stuff from that summit. I don't know if that's what she's sharing, but I'm going to bring Laura Lee in.
Okay.
Hey
Hi,
there.
Everybody.
Hi.
Can you see my headband? My cat was afraid of it. I put it on and he just looked at me like, ah. But I have been watching videos from the summit. But what I did this week was, I don't know if you guys, I mean, I'm sure you have, but if everybody in the audience has heard of Scrapbook and Cards Today magazine.
Yes.
And so I do their classes sometimes. They're wonderful. I totally recommend it. But it is very time intensive. So if you've heard of Yana Smakula, I'm not sure how to say her name quite right. Hopefully I did. But her class was incredible. So like I said, this takes a lot of time because I layered these die cuts. There's a lot of layers going on, and they're very fine die cuts, but one tip that I took away from her class is that I just dotted on with a white gel pen, and I wish I had taken a before and after picture, because adding that white gel pen just really accented everything on a dark background. And then I thought this was adorable. And so these are little mittens. And then I found in my stash, and it was probably like a decade old at this point, this is actually flocking paper. So when somebody gets this card, if I actually send them out, because I kind of want to keep them at this point, then they'll get that little special touch. And so it was all about adding those details. And so obviously these are cards for somebody special. I'm not going to be mass sending these out, but I love this fireplace. And look at that dimension. And again, it's like the gel pen and the little sparkles that's really adding to it. And then I also ink blended, I have Lisa Horton's, let me see if I can find it. It's her inks that, they're awesome. I don't know if anybody has tried these, but this is actually this color on this fireplace. And so I don't know if you can pick up some of that shimmer. So I love that. Interesting color combo. This was kind of all very dramatic, kind of dark Christmas colors. So yeah, I loved it.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
It is the details that really make a project.
It is.
I mean, those little tiny details that maybe some, I do know crafters that do something and then they don't finish the backside.
I know.
Because, you're making so many projects, but it is all little fine details that really make the project.
It's that fit and finish. And, I've always loved the look of the white splatter, but I hate getting my splatter box out. And then I feel like I don't have any control over it. And I was like, I wouldn't really even know if I just saw these, that's just quick dotted on with a gel pen. So I'm like, I'm going to be incorporating that more.
Thank you, Laura Lee.
Thank you, guys.
We love it.
Yay,
so
thank you.
I do see Christine is also waiting if we want to. Do you see her? Okay.
I will bring Christine in. And Brenda said she's already watched my video because she must be part of the VIP and she's printed the card. So Brenda, I'll be glad to see when you share yours. Hey, Christine.
Hi. I'm in my bed because my arthritis is really bothering me today. Well, thanks. But yeah, I have been making crocheting. I've been crocheting a lot of things lately. I don't know if you can see all of that, but hang on.
Is it a cuff?
Is it a what?
What is it?
It's a cozy or koozie.
Cozy. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I've been crocheting away. It's for a bunch of ladies that I'm going to see. And so I'm doing this for them for fall. So
that's so sweet.
When you get those cups, sometimes they're a little too hot. Like yeah. So I thought, everybody could use one of these. That would be great, especially when you're going to like, let's just say all your coffee places.
Yeah, no, those are very cute. And who wouldn't love that as a little gift?
Yeah, right. I mean, it's just something small, but yet it takes time to make. So it's from the heart. And trust me, it definitely takes time.
But also you're able to use up those little bits of yarn that are left over, which is a great use of the yarn.
Absolutely. Yes, indeed. You ladies look lovely tonight. Just wanted to let you know.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. You take care.
All right. You too. Bye. That's so awesome. And crocheting is so healing. The time that we spend crocheting, a million years ago when I was going through my divorce, I crocheted 50 blankets. Everyone in my family and all of my friends all got blankets, but it was so healing because it keeps your mind from wandering two places you don't want it to. So I love to see that Christine is choosing crochet right now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, crocheting, it is an art in itself. My mother used to do it, and she taught me. I'm left-handed. I crochet left-handed. I knit right-handed. So, but my oldest daughter has recently taken up crocheting, and she is everything crochet. I mean, sweaters, bags, everything. It's awesome.
That's awesome. I never graduated past scarves and blankets. So that's awesome. Good for her. Well, I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for my show and tell tonight. And many of you that have watched the show may have seen this on my counter. So these are resin grapes. And this is the biggest collection of resin grapes that I have seen. This actually belongs to my sister-in-law. It was her mom's. And so because this year is the 75th anniversary of Aleene's Tacky Glue, I think most of you know that Aleene is my mom. And so I've been involved in promotions for the 75th anniversary, which has brought me back to 1968, which is when Mom kicked off the Aleene's Craft Maker Caravan. And it was a 38-city tour. She made designs. My dad printed the books, and she rented out convention centers. And so one of the other people that she brought along with her on this tour was Hazel Pearson. And Hazel Pearson, and I wanted to check on ChatGPT tonight because I said, who discovered and invented the resin grapes? Well, it actually gave my mom credit, which was incorrect. But because I know the story of Hazel, and it was a company called Nat Cole Products, who actually made the glass molds for the resin for these grapes. And Hazel told me the story years and years ago about how she would bring in the glass shapes by the trainload. So she would get 10 train cars filled with these glass shapes to pour the resin. That's how popular this craft was back in the late 1960s. So I just wanted to share that with everyone tonight. I feel so blessed that my sister-in-law has let me, I used it for a photo shoot, and she's let me keep it done in my studio. And it's pretty interesting to see how these took off and how, of course, they're vintage collectibles. That is my show and tell.
I love that. I love that you have such a wealth of knowledge of time gone by. I mean, it gives me chills.
And it's interesting because it's very much on my heart that I want to make sure that I preserve the right history. I've been doing videos about Mama Aleene and how she started and all, but Hazel Pearson, it's very interesting. They became best friends, and my mom was not friendly with a lot of people. They had their stores that were maybe 15 minutes apart in California. So it's very unusual that these two leaders of this industry ended up so close in proximity with their stores, and they never stepped on each other's toes. There maybe have been a couple of times when they both introduced similar products, but like Mom never did the resin grapes, and yet it was a phenomenal seller. So it's really cool that these two women, as it should be, were able to find, they both published books. They both had, Hazel did a lot of like the apple faces where you do the dried apple faces dolls. Do you remember those?
I do. I've done that.
Yeah. And she started out doing, her first craft was copper tooling. And that's how she got into the business. And I'm going to try and document all of this because we don't want to lose it. So
we don't. And along with that, I have that timeline of the craft industry.
Yes. And I printed it out when you shared it with me, and it's in a notebook. And so, wait until we share all of that because it goes back to the 1700s.
Yes. Yes. That was given to me by an editor. And he has since passed away, Mike Hartnett. And he was an icon in the industry. And when he gave that to me when I started Bella Crafts Publishing, because he said that he could see all the magazines disappearing, and I was starting something new, and digital was the way to go forward. even though I love print. And he was right. And so he shared that with me about 10 years ago. And he said, keep this and do what you think is right with this. And Tiffany and I have talked, and we know what to do with it and preserve it. I mean, even his legacy.
Right. Oh, exactly.
I mean, we are blessed.
And we're working with some new opportunities to go out to bigger audiences. And so to have all of this history is phenomenal, because apparently it's going to be part of the legacy that we leave behind, that everybody understands how this industry was built. And there's not a lot who really understand how this industry was built. So, we know we're so familiar with all of the retailers that are here, but when my mom started, they weren't there. So it's pretty amazing. So anyway, I think we're going to get ready to welcome our special guest tonight. So Deb Floros is going to come on. Hey, Deb.
Hi.
Deb.
Hello.
We are so happy that you are joining us tonight. It's such an honor to have you here.
Well, it's an honor to be here. I mean, to be among the two of you that are these amazing icons in crafting. I'm very honored. I'm grateful that you're having me on. Thank you so much.
Oh, well, yeah, you're very, very welcome. And we'd love to have a platform where we can feature creators such as yourself, because that's what this community is about. It's about sharing everything we know and sharing techniques. And what it's really cool, because we haven't had any guests on that do what you do. So this is going to be a fun segment tonight. So when Deb is on, we do have her link tree that we will share for you in the chat, so that you know how to reach her through all of her platforms. So if you do have a question, that will come up, we're going to share those links. So we're going to turn this over to you. Please reintroduce yourself and have fun and show us what you have.
Okay. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Deb Floros, and I am a full-time jewelry designer. I make jewelry for my own brand, which is Deb Loves Jewelry Designs, and I spell loves L-U-V-S. So most of the places where you'll see me, I am Deb Loves Jewelry on YouTube. I'm Deb Loves Design on a couple platforms, and Deb Loves Jewelry Designs on another. So if you get Deb Loves, you'll probably find me. But I'm also a freelance designer, so I do a lot of work for bead shops and jewelry supply companies. So I'm part of the artbeads.com design team. I do a weekly live show with them. I'm doing some shows for beadaholique.com, who is sadly closing, going out of business. But I'm helping send them out with a bang, and doing some tutorials weekly with them. I do lots of content for bead shops. I show up for some live shows. And I'm also a brand ambassador for Jesse James Beads, which is how I met Anne. So I was blessed to participate in the Bellicon event this year. So the virtual event, I had, I think, 20 minutes to make something. I was a little nervous about 20 minutes, but I had some beautiful items from Jesse James Beads, and was able to show just a couple of easy jewelry making projects, and maybe entice some crafting folks to come on over to the jewelry crafting side of the world and do some fun things. So that's who I am. I've been making jewelry about 17 years, but for most of those 17 years, I was a full-time corporate America worker, and I was able to retire a little bit early in life 3 years ago, and then everything just kind of took off, and all of the opportunities that I have now started to flow in more like a full-time gig. So I am an absolute jewelry fanatic. So I collect jewelry. I sell jewelry, so I sell my jewelry under my brand, Deb Loves Jewelry Designs. And I make jewelry. I teach making jewelry. I also co-host a jewelry making talk show. So to say I'm a jewelry fanatic might be like a little on the light side of the description of me. So so I'm hoping that maybe because no one has been on the show that does jewelry, that maybe I'll entice some more of you to come on over and maybe learn to make some jewelry. And what I have picked out today is a project that I think kind of lends itself to more of a crafty thing. And so I am a jack of all trades with jewelry making. I string beads, I do seed bead work, I work with leather and resin and all those kinds of things. But one of my most favorite things to do is to take jewelry that has been loved before, cast aside, and I pick it up and say, what can I do to either cut this up and use the parts, or can this be refurbished? Can this be made into something different? Can it just be cleaned up a little bit and breathe some new life into it? And so I thought tonight that's what we would do, is we would breathe some new life into a piece of jewelry. And I'm going to show you a couple of other things that I do in case you're interested in those. Maybe we could do that another time. But I'm going to flip my camera down. So let's see if I can do this without making y'all dizzy. So I'm turning off the camera for the moment, make sure I'm positioned right. And I think you should see my work table. So I've got some protective stuff down on my work table. This is not where I normally do messy things. Messy things I have in another room, but we're doing messy things here tonight. So I've got a couple of mats down, and I've got some cardboard that I'm going to use to mix some things up. I've got some paper towels, I've got some water, and I'm going to show you first of all a few things that I like to do just to entice you. So some of you may have seen a jewelry torque in your life. So this is a piece of jewelry that kind of sits on the collar. And back in the day, these were very popular. They haven't been popular for a while, but what I did was just wire wrap some beads onto this piece. So this is, gold tone metal, and I grabbed some beautiful faux pearls and I wrapped them on. This is one of my favorite things to do. We're not doing this tonight, but if you're interested in this, maybe we could do this sometime. This is just a fun way to bring this kind of a necklace into the new world, and it's a little bit asymmetrical. So it's wrapped sort of up one side, and you could do it all the way around if you want. But that's one thing I love to do. And then I thought I would show this. This is a combination of something old and new. So these little pieces right here were part of a closure on a necklace that had seen better days. And I thought that they were just so interesting and unique. And I thought rather than them being in the back of a necklace, they should be in the front. So I took everything off the necklace and I kept these pieces, and I put some modern chain, and then I added some chain to the bottom. This is a little bit hard to show, but I added some loops of chain. Maybe if I do this, you could see it better. So I added some chain to the bottom that will just kind of go around in just some drapes. And these almost look like eyes, don't they? Now that I'm looking at them, they kind of look like eyes. So just showing you the possibilities of if you go through your own jewelry box, you find some old jewelry, or maybe you're at a flea market or a yard sale and you find something you can bring it back to life, take parts of it, build something else. It's just really fun to do. One of the things you might find with jewelry that's been cast aside is sometimes it's got a little bit of tarnish. And one of the ways that I have dealt with tarnish is by painting or covering up the tarnish itself. So this is one of those modern day, I don't know, maybe this is like a 10-year-old piece, statement necklace pendant. And I cut up the necklace that I found, and there was quite a bit of tarnish around the edges. So I pulled out some tester's paint. This is paint that's often used with like model planes and, you know, little hobbyist type models. This comes in several colors. So I just painted it around the edge. Now it's not the same color silver, but it adds a little bit of interest. And there was also some scuffing on the back. So I just painted the back as well. And now this piece is, you know, I added beads to it, put a clasp on it, and now it's a new piece that looks nothing like it did before. But it was hard for me to say goodbye to something like this. This is plastic, but it's so pretty. And you might find these kinds of things and say, no way can I throw this into the garbage. Like, we've got to do something with it. So the whole concept of things being tarnished. Now, I have found a lot of pieces of jewelry in the times I've been making jewelry. And sometimes you find something that's interesting and unusual, and it just needs some help. And what I always do is I make sure that the integrity of whatever it is good. So if it is tarnished or it's losing some plating, I always want to make sure it's not bending. It's not, bendable, which could then ultimately break. So I check the integrity, and if everything's good, what I might do is clean up or do something to the piece to change it so that maybe it doesn't look so sad. Now, this is something we'll do a little something with, but I want to show you a piece. Now, hold your breath, because this is going to be kind of wild and crazy. I love cuff bracelets. So this was a cuff that was from so I left the inside intentionally untouched because I wanted to show you what this looked like. So this is from a mall store that sold shoes and clothing. And I don't remember where I got this crazy cuff bracelet, but it was in pretty bad shape, and it is huge. So let me show you. I'm going to put this on. Now, it was a brassy look piece, but it's not brass. So since it had some problems with the plating, I thought, you know what, this is just too cool. I have to do something with this. So why not intentionally patina this? So I did. And this was my tester piece. So I'll say it's not perfect, but it looks like it's old world, just really aged, on its own. And this kind of look in jewelry is fairly popular. There are products that you can buy to patina metal, patina paints that you can use to paint. But I made my own. And so we're going to patina paint another cuff. So this one's like probably not for everybody. It is a big honkin' cuff bracelet, but I just had fun painting this and making it look interesting and unique. And you can do this with so many things. So I'm going to show you what we're going to do, and then I'm going to show you how. So here's another cuff. And this cuff is actually like a bird wing. And I thought it was just so cool, has some very cool texturing, but it's got some plating problems. And it's got that kind of weird, yellowish hue to it. It's probably not coming through the same way with all the lights in here, but I started doing the patina to test it out to see how it would look, and I love that. And this piece also has a little hole right here, and I assume that something was dangling from that. Now, if you're a jewelry maker, you never leave anything like that alone. You got to put something there, a charm, a bead. So I'm going to do that first, and that's super easy. So I'm going to sit back down for a second. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a head pin, and I'm going to take a bead, just a solo bead. This is a gemstone bead. It's called Blue Sky Jasper. It's dyed, and it kind of is in the same color vibe as the patina. So I'm just going to drop this guy onto my head pin here. And I'm going to be using some round nose pliers, one of the jewelry making staples for tools. And I'm going to create a loop up top. And then I'm going to open up that loop just a little bit so that I can put it into that little hole right there. So I'm going to just wire wrap this directly onto the cuff. I just got to grab some pliers. So I'm going to grab these precision chain nose pliers, hold on to that loop, and then I'm going to wrap the wire around the bead. So put some wraps around it like that. And then I got to grab my cutters, and we're just going to snip off the excess of that head pin. And this is a really, if you're not a jewelry person, this is a really common technique. So this is one of the things, if you want to be a jewelry maker, that you will, you'll want to learn. So we now have our little dangle. So this task has been satisfied. So we now have filled that hole. You just can't leave it alone. Like if you make jewelry, you just have to put something there. So we're going to put these tools away, and now we're going to make our patina. And you might be surprised at how I do this, and you might think maybe I'm a little crazy. I do mixing on cardboard because I work so fast with the material and move it on to whatever I'm working with. Cardboard works fine for me, but you might have some kind of a plastic container that you do mixing in. But this is what I like to use, and this is recycled from cat food boxes because I'm a cat mom. And so here I've got just a craft store paintbrush, and here's what I'm going to use. I'm going to use some clear gel Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm going to use some craft store acrylic paint. So I think this is a Michael's brand. I'm not certain 100%, but it's a turquoise color. So typically your patinas have a greenish or bluish look to them. So we're going to create a little bit of patina. So I know this sounds crazy, but it's really kind of fun, and I think it looks cool. So I'm just going to put some of the glue out. And then hopefully I can open this without getting it everywhere. Then I'm going to do just a drop, maybe a drop and a half of the turquoise paint. And then I'm going to use my paintbrush, pull this down a little bit, and I'm just going to mix. And it doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be completely mixed, but I just kind of mix that around. And then here's what I'm doing. I'm going to hold on to my piece, and I'm just going to paint it right on to the metal. So we're just going to add some intentional patina to our piece. And I try to put it on going in one direction to start with. You can go whichever direction you'd like to start with, and just kind of getting that painted on. So you see, it's just kind of making it look I don't know, better, because you're no longer seeing the flaws. You're seeing this patina, which I'm sure people would know it's not real, but it just adds a cool vibe to it. And I'm going to come down here and go all the way to the very end. And this turquoise paint looks great, but you could also use like a green color if that's more your vibe, or go crazy, just use a different color. And maybe you're not creating a patinaed look, but you're creating more of just a color. So you could use a red paint or yellow, orange, I don't know, there's so many colors of paint out there. So I'm now going kind of downwards, and the glue can get a little bit sticky because it's doing its job, but you can always swirl out a little bit more, and you can, you can add more paint to it if you'd like. But look at how that completely transformed this piece. Just completely transformed the look of it. And it looks like it was meant to be like this, versus it looks sad because it was unloved and maybe someone found it in a box of old jewelry at a garage sale, which is, I think, where I found this one. So just, you can do as many coats as you would like. I find coming in and doing maybe a little more brushing with the handmade patina, you get just a nice coating of it, but you could do as much or as little as you'd like. Now, because we would need some dry time, I would normally do the inside as well. So the inside also could use some paint. We talked about not doing the other side of things. Like, you can do the other side and then your whole piece will look consistent. And we also have our cool dangle. The last thing I would do, which is what I did with the other piece, is I come in with the Aleene's acrylic sealer. So I just take my piece outside. My studio is right next to an empty lot, and I take a piece of cardboard out into the desert, and I drop the piece on it, and I spray it down and let it dry a little bit and bring it in. And then you've got this just fun, cool piece. So I was going to show you one more. Oh, and I'll show you another trick. So with this one was fairly easy because I started it before the show. But if you want to paint something and it has a tendency to rock, you can come in with a clothespin, and you can rest it with the clothespin so that you can actually paint it. So you don't have to hold it. You can use a clothespin to position it and keep it in place while you're painting. These things, they have saved me for so many projects like this. I've also taken cuff bracelets and put flatback rhinestones on them, or rhinestone cup chain, or even Bible verses or poetry. So these little things just help me out when I'm trying to navigate through working with cuffs. I'm a bit of a cuff fanatic, so I've done so many different things with them. So last thing I want to show is we're going to do this same thing with this. So this is a stretch bracelet, and it's a little worse for wear. It's really cool. I love the closure of it, but I love working with the pieces of a stretch bracelet. So very often they are 2-hole or 4-hole, I guess you would say. So 2 holes here on this side, 2 holes on that side. I love taking them and making them into a bracelet. It's one of my most favorite things to do. So these guys look a little, I don't know, they don't look so good. So we can breathe some new life into them by making them, you know, patina. So let's just do the patina thing one more time on a couple of these so you can see what it looks like. So I've got the top off my glue already, and I'm just going to spin some glue around. And then I'm going to take some paint, and then we're going to mix again. So because I'm using it so fast, I feel okay about it on the cardboard, like I said. And then I'm just going to come in and paint this guy. Now this one has some indentations on it. And what I played around a little bit with was just coming in with a paper towel and wiping that off. So you're getting most of the surface off, but you're still keeping that color in the grooves. So I would go over it again and try and get into those grooves and just try and get all of those grooves filled in with our patina. And then come in with my paper towel again. And if you needed to, you could use like a toothpick. So I'm seeing I've got a few little stubborn spots, but look how fun that is. So now, you know, you take a look at the old version. Yeah, but it just needed something. It's just a little tired. So we put a little bit of patina paint in there, and it lands in those grooves. And now if I decide to do 1 or 3 of those pieces or all of the pieces, I can then string them up for a brand new bracelet, and it's going to look really lovely and different than how it looked before. And everybody loves the color turquoise. I think it's just one of the most popular colors out there, at least in the jewelry world. So just something fun that you can do. So I'm hoping that maybe some of you will be thinking, wow, I've got some jewelry that I can do this with. I would just come in with my sealer once this has dried, and then let the sealer dry, and then you can just go crazy and do all kinds of fun things with your homemade patina paint with Aleene's clear gel tacky glue. So that's what I got for you guys. I'm gonna flip back up if that's okay, ladies.
Yes. Wow.
That was wonderful. Beatrice said, beautiful piece to put on a glass bottle. You know, if you didn't want to wear it for a cuff, that'd be gorgeous.
Yeah. That's the thing about jewelry too, is it can be used for other things, for displays. You know, you can make wine charms, you can make all kinds of things. I was thinking about that cozy that we saw earlier, like that. You could do a jewelry cozy,
Yeah.
Add some sparkle or some beads to that cozy, and that changes the look of it too. So there's just so many things that you can do to take that jewelry that wasn't loved so much. It was somebody let it go, and now you can make it into something brand new and different and fun. So
Yeah.
That was great. I was making notes as I was watching you. So thank you for giving us the technique of the Aleene's clear gel tacky glue. I have never tried that, and it's brilliant for you to mix your paint with the glue, because patina finishes can be challenging if you overpaint. And thank you for that suggestion. The clothespin tip, loved that. Keep it from rolling, because I would be messing with it turning. So that was awesome. And then my third comment is, I just realized you're wearing a pajama party t-shirt.
I saw your mug.
And I got the mug.
I love it.
Any chance for merch, like any chance for merch, I'm all over it. So I'm like, they have merch. I gotta get the merch.
Thank you. Bless you. I forgot because I remember I saw your order came in a while ago, and it's like, because all I saw when you were first starting was just the frame, and I thought, wait, is that our logo?
Yes.
And I realized, yes, it was. So once again, we're going to drop Deb's link, which is her link tree, into our chat. And I'm going to do that right now. So that I know a lot of creators that we work with do lives during the week and different things. What will our audience find you doing in the next week? Let's talk about that. Or month. That's fine too.
So Monday mornings at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Eastern, I am live on artbeads.com/live. I do my own show called Designing with Deb. So I usually do a project, and of course there's a little bit of selling going on in the show. We sell all of the products that are involved in the project. Sometimes the show is a little bit just about the products themselves, but I do my Designing with Deb show every Monday morning. Tuesdays, I do a live show for beadaholique.com, at least for the time being. They are closing their doors. But I do a live show for them at 10:30 Pacific, 1:30 Eastern. And same thing, do a project, share the product. And what else do I have next week? I think I'm also going to be live, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday with Silver Silk, which Nilay Patel is a good friend, and he's also a good friend of Juliana's. So, so I'll be live with him, and I'm also teaching a class at the Jesse James Beads summer camp event this year.
Nice.
I think this might be my third summer camp with them, and I have a really fun bracelet project with them. So, you know, that's all I can remember at the moment.
Well, thank you. I'm so glad your schedule was open for tonight so that you could come and join us. And I loved what you did, because I would like to incorporate some repurposed jewelry. I'm always wearing beads and such, but to be able to personalize it and make jewelry my own, you've just totally inspired me. So I'm going to look at repurposing, and, you know, everyone's talking about sustainability and upcycle and such, and you've given me a really fresh perspective, and I really appreciate that.
I have many other things that I do with repurposed stuff. So if you're interested, I can always come back and share.
We would love.
Yeah, absolutely. Sign up. You know where the form is. You sign up. We would welcome you back anytime.
That'd be great. I love the wrapping beads onto things. That's one of my most favorite things to do. And I'll give you the teaser. I'm sure everybody that's watching probably has some of those metal bangle bracelets, the little thin ones. Mm-hmm. They're probably in the back of your jewelry box. You have them.
Yes.
You can make those into something really fun with some beads and some wire. And it's a very therapeutic, relaxing kind of technique. So maybe we can do that. That would be really fun, because it's easy too. And folks that haven't done jewelry, they don't need a lot of tools to do it. So
that sounds perfect. We can't wait till you come back.
That'd be great. Thank you.
So we're going to start wrapping up. I can't believe we're at the end of the hour here. And please stay with us, Deb, because you get to say goodbye to everyone too. And a reminder, if you join us after the opening, there's Cool2Craft.blog, there's BellaCraftsPublishing.com, there is our Facebook group, which is Cool2Craft, that we would love for you to join, and that way we can keep connected throughout the week.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add, Anne?
No, I think we about covered it. Deb, I am so thrilled that you were part of BellaCon, and I got to meet you that way. And I love what you do.
Thank
so
you.
So happy to have you here.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm happy to be here. And you ladies, I watch this show, and every week there's always some fun things going on, and I love how folks come on and they share some things. It's a really great time, and crafting needs to continue on. We got to keep it going.
Yeah, hashtag crafting revival. That is my passion this year. And we're working on some exciting new things. We will always be here. I always want to connect on Wednesday nights with our creative girlfriend. So we will be here. A reminder, we will not be doing our Whatnot auction tonight. Ann and I will be on live on Whatnot tomorrow at noon. So join us for our live auction. Ann has great crafting supplies. It's the Artisan Showcase on Whatnot tomorrow. So it's going to be interesting to see who all is gathering there.
Yeah, everything that's going on. And it's noon Central Time.
Noon Central. I always forget to do that. So thank you all for joining us and joining in the chat, and bless you. Have a blessed week. And we will see everyone next Wednesday night.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. So glad you were here.